Hello all, welcome to another edition of Food Sack. I'm down at Hungry Jack's, checking out their take on a Philly cheesesteak. That's right, we're taking a trip to Philadelphia. Wait, stop doing that. I've already made that joke twice. Yeah, I don't want to get demonetized. Anyway, yes, as I said, Hungry Jack's have been inspired by Philadelphia's favorite sandwich, the Philly cheesesteak, and they have brought out the Philly Cheese Deluxe and the Mega Philly Cheese. Let's just run through it. It is 2 beef patties, cheese on a toasted bun with peppercorn sauce. Interesting. I think that was the same one on the Chicago Whopper. They also have cheese sauce. I think they're probably just recycling that from before. And they have Philly beef. Now, that looks pretty good. That sounds pretty exciting. I do like beef strips. Whether or not Hungry Jack's can execute this properly, I don't know. Now, this Philly cheese range was trialed in the ACT and Queanbeyan and that sort of area for a bit, and my good friend at Rapid Australia did manage to get a review of it. He was not very impressed with it.
This is not good.
Yes, not really a glowing endorsement from Rapid Australia there. Safe to say he wasn't very impressed.
Do not get this burger.
But look, I live in hope, and you know, it's good for you guys to get a second opinion. Maybe I'll think it's great. I don't know. The peppercorn sauce, like I said, is recycled from the Chicago Whopper. I actually quite liked that peppercorn sauce. The cheese sauce, if it's the same that they put on that cheesy Whopper a while ago, that's nothing exciting. That's not great. And the beef strips, I think it hinges on the beef strips. I had a really good burger with beef strips on it from Carl's Jr. a few years ago. That was amazing. I still dream about that. I wish Carl's Jr. would bring that back. But yes, obviously we're talking about Hungry Jack's here. Yeah, quality is not always first on the list. They do like to get the cheapest stuff possible. So this might be good, this might be bad. Either way, it is good to see them finally use a US name appropriately in one of their burgers. The Kansas Whopper, the aforementioned Chicago Whopper, the Carolina Whopper, they all had nothing to do with these places. Philly cheese at least is an actual thing, a Philly cheese steak. I do love a good Philly cheese steak, so I am cautiously optimistic about this one, but the peppercorn sauce has given me pause. Maybe they're not confident with the beef and the cheese sauce, and they want to, you know, kind of hide some sins with the peppercorn sauce. I don't know. Only one way to find out. Let's check out the Philly Cheese Deluxe.
How can I help you?
Yeah, can I get the Philly Cheese Deluxe, please?
Yeah, and a meal by itself.
Yeah, just by itself, thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's a good, thanks.
That's 35, Jeff, too.
Thank you.
Philly Deluxe?
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Can I get the receipt for that as well? Thanks. Bit far away. Thank you very much. Cheers. Alright.
Was that the Philly Cheese Deluxe?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll just see it into the next window where it belongs.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. You have to make this one special. Just before, while I was in the car park, a bird took a giant crap on the windscreen. So, I don't know if that was the bird's review of Hungry Jack's or it was personal, but I'm gonna have to clean that off. It's actually quite distracting. Awesome, thank you very much. You too. Alrighty. Whoa, Jesus. Let's get stuck into it. Try to find some shade. My God. Alrighty, I am back from Hungry Jack's with my Philly Cheese Deluxe. Let's give it a go. So, well, first of all, as Rapid Australia did know, this is quite small, but anyway, let's get stuck into it. Boom. That is some extra cheesy, creamy sauce there. So there it is. They have not held back on the liquids there. Fair bit of peppercorn sauce, fair bit of the cheese sauce as well. So it looks like I am going to get a good face full of that. Oh, and there is the there's the beef strips. Wow. Anyway, that bit there, this globule, looks like it is about to fall off. So I better get stuck into a quick smart before I ruin my my Billy Joel shirt, as seen in The Boys, by the way. All right, anyway, let's get stuck into it. Wow. Wow. Big hit of that liquid cheese stuff there. And then actually the peppercorn, that's a nice balance to that cheesiness, but that is basically all I can taste at the moment. It's dripping a fair bit. Wow. Okay. I'm not minding this at the moment, but the peppercorn sauce is doing most of the work here. It's like it's fighting with the cheese. The peppercorn sauce is way better than this this liquid cheese stuff. I don't really know why they put it on it, to be honest. Wow. I'm gonna try this these beef strips by themselves. So that's them there. That is a fairly grey bit of beef. I actually don't mind that. That is not bad. Yeah, that was not bad. I want more of that beef. Yeah, again, it is not the best looking beef, but it's fairly tender. It still tastes like beef. It is nowhere near as gristly as I assumed it would be. I thought it would be like mainly gristle and fat, but that is actually quite soft, quite nice. Has a good like briny sort of flavor. They've, you know, added some sort of seasoning to that, but it is mixing in with the cheese and the peppercorn sauce, and that is decent. That is fairly good. But unfortunately, as part of the burger, I can't really taste it that much. Alrighty, perhaps my expectations were too low, but I thought that was actually not too bad. I thought that was pretty good, but I do have some notes for Hungry Jack's. Now, first of all, I don't know why they made that a double beef patty. Like, you don't really need the second thing of beef. It's already got beef on it. So, like, beef is one of the toppings, so just, like, one beef patty is fine to give it a bit more meat, a bit more heft. I'm assuming the beef patty is cheaper than that roast beef stuff that they're using, the steak strips that they're using. So, like, those steak strips things, I thought they were pretty good. I thought they were all right, but there was just too much happening for them to really shine. Firstly, we don't need that cheese sauce. Now, I know that, like, runny cheese is part of the Philadelphia cheesesteak experience, but I think the sliced cheese, the regular sliced cheese, does that enough. You know, it's already got the cheese on it. That like canned cheese that they use is fairly vile and not very good. I don't think they should use that. It was like kind of cold. It made the burger a bit cold as well, so not great. The peppercorn sauce here at Hungry Jack's, I like their peppercorn sauce. I think it's quite good, and that did add a nice element to the beef. They could have just used a mayonnaise, let the beef, like, you know, sing a bit more, but as it was, the peppercorn sauce was not at all overpowering, so actually, you know, it added a nice little kick to what was happening there. So that was $11.35, which is a bit pricey, but yeah, those steak strips are probably not that cheap. Like I said, they were actually quite good. I would love to see them on a burger by themselves. They were close to as good as the Carl's Jr. prime rib burger from a while ago, but you know, like I said, dearly missed, forever in my heart, that burger. So yeah, I think step one, get rid of the cheese sauce. That stuff's just kind of crap. They must have a lot of it left over, like liters and liters of it, and they're probably told, like, make sure to put a bum load on the burgers, because I certainly did get a bum load there. But look, I finished that, and I finished that pretty quickly. I don't often finish burgers like until after I finish talking, so yeah, I kept wanting to eat that one because it was quite good. I quite liked it. Rapid Australia, we disagree. You know, I respect your opinion, and but you know, that's my opinion. So look, you know, you make up your own mind. That's it's always interesting when people disagree about things. I think for me personally, when I hear a movie is divisive, that makes me extra keen to check it out. So yeah, maybe you've heard one very poor review of this and my, you know, middling to good review of this, and are thinking, gee, I wonder where I fall on that spectrum. So check that out if you're keen. It's really not that much like a Philly cheesesteak, but it was a decent burger. So well done, Hungry Jack's. Not a disappointment this time. Good job. The only disappointing thing with this burger is they have brought back Jimmy Giggle for some of the ads. Yeah, not great. But it's weird, they have another ad where it's like just a normal guy. And they seem to be doing something of a Rocky parody, but it's like, it's not super obvious. Like maybe they couldn't afford the music and they just were like, oh, well, we've already got a guy in a tracksuit and some weights, so we'll just, I don't know, we'll leave it at that. The connection is there, but it's not very obvious. Surely they could have got him to run up some steps somewhere. Surely there are steps somewhere in Australia that look kind of like that building in Philadelphia that Rocky climbs up. Or maybe not.